Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? I'm in a different place, in a different time, in a different place. Welcome to Friday Night Crime, which is going to be more like a overruled episode. I am here today with my best friend, number two. Welcome, number two. Welcome to your own house.
My house.
Yeah. Since we're sitting right next to each other, I'm taking the headphones off until we play a video. But I did want to say thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm here in Indiana because we're covering the Delphi, Indiana case, the Delphi murders. And we're being joined live by Zena. Zena, are you there? Zena, hello. She can't hear me, I don't think. Oh, her tail's wagging. We see it.
Oh, that's so cute.
So I have Mr. Zed on standby with the bucket of treats. So if anybody donates while we're live on air, Zena will still get a cookie live on air. And don't forget, oh, look at that. He's teasing her with them. As you guys know, I am not sponsored by anybody but myself. So if you decide to do a super chat or anything like that, Zena will get a treat live on air. And if you donate $10 or more, we will bring Ava in, who, I don't know if you guys saw my community post, but Ava, she got in trouble this week.
A little rough around the edges.
A little rough around the edges. She tried to scoot under our chain link fence and got punctured by, I guess, the bottom of the chain link fence. Anyway, she had a puncture wound and a rip in her skin about an inch deep. So we had an emergency vet visit this week that was a little crazy in how much it costs to have a dog put under anesthesia. Did you guys know how much that costs? I had no idea.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, no, we have to do it right now. I'm like, all right. Anyway, that's beside the point. $10 or more, Ava gets a treat to any donation at all, or if you buy something from katiezed.com, if you do any of the things. By the way, don't forget, discount code Zena10 is still working. I never turned it off. I was going to do it just for September. We're going to keep it going all through October as well. Zena10 for 10% off at anything at katiezed.com. And that also includes the Stephen Ignoramus merchandise that I created this week. So feel free to do that. I guess let's get right into the case, yeah?
Let's do this.
Yeah? So, have you guys heard of this? I didn't say hello to the people in the chat.
Let's say hello.
You can do part.
Hang on.
You're so close.
Listen here. All right. So, we have Yo Mama.
Oh, by the way, guys, Yo Mama is my mama, so behave yourselves. Best behavior.
And my dad's going to be here too, but he probably won't be chatting. But hi, Dad, if you're watching.
Hi, Mr. Karen's dad. Totally almost knocked you.
All right, we have Greg Jonick here. We have Parson, Yo Mama, like I have already said. Mama's boy. Bandit is here. Good to see you. Erica is at a volleyball game, but she's listening. So good to see you guys. We're glad you're here.
I turned Zena's camera off while she's cleaning herself.
It's so nice of you. Spare everybody that view.
Good to see everybody. I guess we'll jump right into it. Have you guys? Oh, hey, Ampy. Nice of you to be here. We're talking about Delphi today. So as I was saying, have you guys heard of the Delphi, Indiana murders? Happened in 2017, and it took them a very long time to have a suspect. So
5 years.
5 years. And this happened pretty close to where we are right now at your house.
Yeah.
Not too far away. So we're going to head up there tomorrow and actually walk the trail that this happened on. So Richard Allen is the dude that was arrested recently. There he is. Looks like a nice gentleman, doesn't he? And if you look at the thumbnail, look at how much weight he's lost in prison or jail, I guess.
A lot.
So Richard Allen was born in 1972. He's about 44 years old when the murders took place in 2017. His family home was less than a 5-minute drive away from where the bodies of Abby and Libby were found. He was residing in a neighborhood south west of the Monon High Bridge. I always try to mix those up. Monon High Bridge Trail. Richard was a 50-year-old man who had never been arrested. This is a quote from his attorneys, by the way. Richard was a 50-year-old man who had never been arrested nor accused of any crime in his entire life, his lawyer said. He's innocent and completely confused as to why he has been charged with these crimes. We'll get into why it's not confusing at all, why he was in,
why he deserves to be where he's at.
Exactly. He's a 50-year-old married man who worked at a local CVS store in the heart of Delphi. Allen has lived in Delphi since at least 2006 and in Indiana his whole life. Police gave the description of the man as a white male aged between 60 and 40 years old, between 5'6" and 5'10" in height and weighing between and 200 pounds. And even though he's a little bit older than that, you have to understand this is eyewitness testimony, right? So eyewitnesses say, yeah, I saw a dude. He was creepy. I don't know how old he was, but he was grown, like he was an adult. He wasn't a child. So the age between 16 and 40 seems perfectly reasonable for a 44-year-old.
I know if somebody asked me to recount what somebody looks like, a certain amount of time after I saw them, it would be very difficult for me to, maybe the age range I could get right, but actual physical features, I'm not sure what I would describe would be what that person would look like. So
exactly. So it appears that he remained in Delphi during the 5 years between the murders. Keep in mind, everything I'm telling you guys right now is what his attorneys are saying. So it's like the I forget the name of the brief that they filed. There's a name for it, but they filed a brief saying this is why you should let him out. He remained in Delphi during the 5 years in between when the murders took place and when he was arrested. The attorneys went on to detail Allen's character by stating in the 5 years since Allen provided police with information, he never got rid of his vehicle, his gun, or threw away his clothing that he was wearing that day. Nor did he alter his appearance or relocate to another community. Sources with firsthand knowledge of the investigation told Fox 59 Allen came forward as a witness in the earlier stages of the investigation. Richard Allen is married to a woman, which I'm not going to say her name. She didn't have anything to do with this. She didn't know what was going on, by the way. So, leave her out of it. She was married to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is she supposed to know?
Yeah.
And several family members were allegedly confessed to, including the wife, by Richard Allen about these crimes, but they didn't take it seriously.
On October 13th,
of course, your phone starts going
oh
off,
my gosh,
right?
like I don't get any calls ever. Never.
You're very popular. What are you talking
Never.
about?
Nobody calls me except her and my mom. Okay, and my dad. On October 13th, 2022, investigators questioned Allen, who stuck to his story. He insisted he hadn't seen anybody on the trail back in 2017 other than 3 juvenile girls near the Freedom Bridge. There's a couple bridges there. No, maybe the Freedom Bridge is the only one there. And then there's the Monon High Bridge.
Yeah, the Freedom Bridge is like...
It's smaller, much smaller.
Well, it's the one that goes across, like where the trailhead is to park. And then to get to the trail, the Freedom Bridge is the one like in between the parking lot and the trail.
Yeah. Allen said he owned guns, but he kept them at home. That same day, investigators executed a search warrant at his house. They located jackets, boots, knives, and firearms, including a Sig Sauer model P226 40 caliber pistol with serial number U625627, the affidavit states. Over the next 5 days, the Indiana State Police Crime Lab tested the weapon. They determined that the unspent round located between the two girls had been cycled through Richard Allen's 6-hour Model P226. Alan, obviously, Alan at a total loss trying to explain how an unused bullet from his gun wound up between the two girls.
Like, sorry to interrupt you. I know you're in the middle of your thing, like your part, but your thing. But I have to say, when this information first came out, this is last year when Richard Allen was arrested. And they said that one of the pieces of evidence against him was this round that was cycled through his gun. I had no idea that there could be identifying marks on a whole bullet, like with the casing and everything.
Yeah, that was just cycled, not shot.
It was just cycled through. And that it basically means when you back the gun, like when you pull the slide back and let it go, if there's a round already in the chamber, that round spits out. So it apparently can leave identifying marks that it went through that gun, that specific gun, as much so as if when you fired the round through the the tubey part. My husband's watching this.
The tubey part.
Just going like this right now. So when the round actually shoots out, it will leave stippling marks on it, like that can match identically to a gun. I had no idea that if you just cycle it through, it also did that. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Richard Allen again admitted that he was on the trail, but denied knowing German or Williams and denied any involvement in their murders, says the affidavit.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Is it my part?
Yes, it is.
Oh, got it. We're working with laptops here tonight, so we have our actual notes printed out on actual real paper, which is never the case. Normally when I'm at my house, I should do a little behind the scenes sometime of my setup, but I have like 3 screens. So I have the screen that I'm streaming from, I have what's being shown on the stream, and then I have my notes on a totally separate screen.
She's fancy.
Yeah. Also, I can't have Rumble in front of me today. So if you make a donation on Rumble, please let me know. I can't see the Rumble chat at all. So just somebody let me know if somebody donates on Rumble. Somebody pay attention to that, please. Also, the buy me a coffee is not in front of me because I can't do it. I just can't do it.
There's not enough screens.
There's not enough screens. I really could use 5 screens. I'm not lying. So here's a little bit of the background of the girls. Liberty German, goes by Libby, was born on December 27th, 2002. She was in 8th grade in 2017 at the Delphi Community Middle School. Libby was known for her love of photography, which I love photography too. So me and this girl, we're same page. So she loved photography. She had an interest in art. She was described as creative, smart, and caring by her friends and family. Abigail Williams was born on June 23rd, 2003. June 23rd. Why does that date sound so familiar? Mr. Zed, any ideas? Any ideas at all? Okay, that's our anniversary. I got it right.
You passed your own test.
I never remember our anniversary, which is usually the opposite. The husband doesn't remember. So, yeah, I remember June 23rd. Okay, so she was born on June 23rd, 2003. We were not married in 2003, were we? No, we got married in 2007. She was also in 8th grade, so they were classmates at the Delphi Community Middle School. Abby was known for her cheerful personality and her willingness to help others. She enjoyed playing soccer and spending time with her friends and family. The 2 girls were best friends and had a close bond. This is my best friend. And we share a close bond.
It's trouble when we're together. It's trouble. They should not allow this.
We're trouble. We're definitely trouble. The 2 girls were best friends and shared a close bond. They had the day off from school on February 13th, 2007, and decided to spend the day, the free time together hiking on the historic Delphi Trails. It's a popular local recreation area. Tragically, their lives were cut short on that day. And now, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, number 2 and I are going to go up to the Delphi Trails. It's not too far from here at all. And we're going to meet up with Life to the Max, who you guys might have seen in my chat before, but she's going to meet us there and we're going to walk the trails together. It's like the very first, like Katie said, overruled Crimeland meetup.
It's a culmination.
It is.
Of sorts.
It is. We're doing a meetup tomorrow on the Delphi Monon Hit Bridge Trail. Can you put the
I put there's the Buy Me a Coffee QR code up in the corner of the screen.
We're a mess today, Miss Mandy. We're a mess, but I will definitely get you the link. In just one second. Let me finish my part, and when it's her part, I'll put the link on there. It is your part. It is my part. It's her part. Okay.
My turn. Okay, so this is the timeline. So the morning of the crime, Abby and Libby, they had the day off from school. So in Indiana, weather can be awful in the winter. So they set aside a certain amount of days for snow days. And if you don't use them, they will either have the kids get out of school early, a day early at the end of the year, or they'll give them off a various day somewhere. So this happens to be a very nice day. And they decided that they're going to take advantage of the beautiful weather that we had and give the kids that day off. So that was February 13th. And on that day, they made plans to go hiking at the Delphi Historic Trails. Approximately 1:35 p.m., the girls were dropped off at the Monon High Bridge trailhead. And like we said, it's the trail system in Delphi. And apparently they spent a lot of money to get the trails up to the point where they are now, and people in the area really loved these trails. A lot of locals frequented them.
I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
We will, but it's going to be rainy and
it will be fine.
Yeah. Okay. So between 1:45 and 2:07, Libby posted a picture on Snapchat that shows Abby walking on the Monon High Bridge. At around 2:07, Libby posted another Snapchat image showing an unidentified man walking on the bridge. She also captured a short video clip, and it included the audio of the man saying "down the hill."
Oh, I have a video of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that. Well, hold on a second. What did I do?
We'll figure it out.
I'm getting there.
I promise.
I'm getting there. Cancel that. I said cancel that. Do it again. I think this is it.
The man in this video has never been found and never been identified, but police say he remains a person of interest in the unsolved 2017 murder of 2 Indiana teens. Along with that haunting image, his voice was found captured on a cell phone belonging to one of the victims, 14-year-old Libby German. The bodies of German and her friend, 13-year-old Abby Williams, were found in the woods near Delphi, not far from the abandoned rail bridge seen in that cell phone video, and where the 2 girls went for a hike. Earlier this year, their family spoke out on Valentine's Day, the 4th anniversary of their deaths, still agonizing over who the killer could be.
I feel very strongly that there's a very good chance that it was somebody from the area that knew this area at one time.
The fact remains there's a killer walking loose. He knows where Delphi is. We know that.
Police released this sketch of the suspect in 2019, asking the public to take a close look.
The result of the new information and intelligence over time leads us to believe the sketch, which you will see shortly, is the person responsible for the murders of these two little girls.
Then address the murderer directly.
Only a coward would do such a thing. We are confident that you have told someone what you have done.
To this day, police continue to reveal new clues like this fake social media account they say could be connected. Again, police stress that the man in that Instagram account, in the photos in that Instagram account, is not the suspect, but his images were used to create the account called Anthony Shots. They are looking for anyone who interacted with the account, may have saved images or conversations that were shared with the account, or even met with someone claiming to be Anthony Shot.
Okay, so remember how in that video, the lady that said that we think that he lives in our community, that is actually, I believe that is Libby's grandmother. And actually, he worked at the CVS in Delphi and actually gave them, like, for the girls' memorial services, he's the one that gave them their pictures for their memorial service. So, you know, he absolutely was somebody that lived there.
Real quick break. Miss Mandy did donate over there on Buy Me a Coffee.
Oh.
Thank you so much, Miss Mandy. That means Mr. Zed. Are you ready?
And Erica.
Oh, and oh no, Smith.
Oh, and Smith and Bandit.
And Bandit.
What? You guys are awesome.
Wow. Xena gets 3. Actually, I think everybody who's there should get treats. Indy is there as well. We're dog sitting, and there's Ava. So
we need to write down their names so you can add them to your jar.
Yeah. Okay. So Miss Mandy,
Bandit, I'm ready.
Erica,
Bandit, Erica,
Smith. Is that 4?
And
Miss Mandy.
Miss Mandy. All right.
So just so you guys know, if I turn my camera off, my microphone will go off too. But you all will be also entered into the drawing that we're doing at the end of the month to win a overruled coffee mug. There is no purchase necessary to win this coffee mug, but you automatically get entered when you make a donation. So thank you so much for supporting the show. Anybody who calls into any of my shows in October will also be entered into the drawing. So keep that in mind. And we might not do calls today just because we're not at our normal setup today. It's a little confusing what's going on here. I don't have all of the screens. I'm not sure if it'll work. So we'll get your names entered for sure into the drawing. And I appreciate the super chats. I was worried that they weren't working because when Miss Mandy asked for the Buy Me a Coffee link, I thought sometimes if I don't do the settings right, they don't work. So, all right. Back to the story.
Sorry.
What are you doing, man? You can't take us anywhere.
Okay. So
a special thanks to Mr. Zed for making sure that Xena's on screen tonight too.
So at approximately 3:11 p.m. They were supposed to be picked up by Libby.
He's doing the entries. He's putting your names in the entry right now, so I don't forget.
Okay, so at about 3:11, I think the girls were supposed to be picked up around that time by Libby's grandfather.
They did not show up for scheduled time. So family members called. A bunch of people went out there and started looking for them. And at about 5:30, the police were called.
All right, so a search ensued, obviously. A search operation was initiated by the family and community members. So they, like she was saying, they went out in between the 3:11 time when they realized the girls weren't at their 3 o'clock pickup. And I don't know, my mom says we're echoing. There's nothing I can do about it, so... Maybe I need to. There's a bad echo.
Should we turn this off?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, is that better?
Is there still an echo?
All right. Well, whoever's talking, we'll just like when you're talking, whatnot. Okay. So hopefully that helped.
Still? Is there still an echo?
Anyway, at 3:11, the girls didn't. There is still an echo. Huh.
Let me
Hold on a second.
take this out so it's not picking that up maybe. And I'll just unplug this.
I have an echo. No, it's not you. It's
me.
me. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix it. Test. And it's all of a sudden. It's both mics. I don't know what to do about this situation. Oh, it's better now. Okay, thank you, Smith. I appreciate it. Sorry about that. Okay, so they were supposed to get picked up at 3 o'clock. They weren't there by 3:11. At that time, they called the friends and family to do a search first. So they searched for a couple of hours, and then at 5:30, like they went down the whole trail, saw people, asked them, "Hey, did you see these girls? Here's what they look like," a picture on the cell phone, all of that stuff. So once 5:30 hits and they still haven't found them, they call in the police. They're like, "Hey, we need help here," you know. Tragically, so this is that night. They search all night, and then the next morning, the bodies of Abby Williams and Libby German were found in a wooded area near the Delphi Historic Trails. Let me pull up the map so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So here is this is the trailhead, and then there's this Freedom Bridge, and the trail goes down here to the Monon High Bridge. Their bodies were actually found on this Deer Creek around the bend on this side of the river up over here. And you can see it's a heavily wooded area. So they were around the curve here. Up in this area on the north side of the river. And it looks like a lovely area. Like I said, we're going to be there tomorrow to check it out, and we're going to live stream from there. About 10:30 tomorrow, we have to drive out there. It's like an hour and a half away. So we're going to live stream from the KDZ channel tomorrow, which is where we are right now. The exact time of the discovery was not publicly disclosed. Early in the investigation, a composite sketch and audio recording, which we just saw in that little news article, were released to the public based on the evidence obtained from Liberty German's cell phone. The individual seen in the photograph and heard in the recording has been commonly referred to as Bridge Guy. 10:30 Eastern, correct.
Ready? Okay, so
I'll turn mine off.
Okay, so there's been several suspects that have been part of this investigation since the beginning. Just recently, court documents were filed in September. The attorneys for Richard Allen claimed that the 2017 murders were carried out by members of a pagan Norse religion that has been hijacked by white nationalists called Odinists. The nature of the crime scene pointed to the work of a cult from the get-go. This is according to the 135-page documents. Libby and Abby's bodies had both been staged with tree branches and sticks across their bodies in the shapes of pagan symbols. The documents state that it resembled possible Odinism signatures left behind at the crime scene. While his defense attorney claims Allen has no connection to the pagan cult, the documents take the extraordinary step of naming 4 apparent Odinites as potential suspects in the killings. Last month, September 2023, defense attorneys Andrew Baldwin and Bradley Rozzi claimed 3 members of law enforcement investigated a possible connection to Odinists as being involved in the murders. Prosecuting attorney Nicholas McClelland later disputed those claims, saying they are, quote, colorful, dramatic, and highly unprofessional.
I'm getting there. I was going to get the sticks pictures up. So they're saying that these sticks were found on the bodies that were like culty type of, like I read this 35 page document, and they're saying that this is how the sticks were found on Libby's body. So her head would have been here, and the sticks were coming down like this. I've never seen a symbol like this before. I don't know what they're talking about. It seems like, to me anyway, allegedly, to me, it seems like sticks were just thrown on the body, or that somebody was staging it to look like something ritualistic when it wasn't, because it's not actually anything. And then let me pull up the sticks that were found also on Abby's body. I think this is the one. No, that's Libby. We just did Libby.
Is that the F?
That's the F. Okay, so this is the sticks on.
That was the same one.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the same one pulled up twice. That is why. Holy cow. Let me get the other one going here. I pulled up the same one twice, guys, because I'm blonde and stuff like that happens to me a lot more than you would think. A lot more than you would think. All right. Here's the. All right. Here's. There it is. Okay, so this is the one. It looks like just sort of like an asterisk to me. It doesn't look like anything.
It's almost like they were placed and then just kept on being put on top. And if I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
So 3 young girls, these are different tips that the police got right away. 3 young girls who said they encountered a kind of creepy, air quotes, man, not air quotes, actual quotes. This is what the 3 girls, there was other kids there. It was the day off school. So, there was other kids there. 3 young girls who encountered said they saw a creepy man in a blue jacket on the same trail that day. One of the group said she said hello to the man who glared at her and kept walking, according to the affidavit. A woman who was on the trail that day as well also told police that she remembered encountering a man wearing a blue jacket who matched the man in the video. The unnamed woman said she recalled seeing no other adults on her walk besides that man, who had parked his car in an odd manner at the old Child Protective Services building near the trail entrance. She said that it was not odd for vehicles to be parked there, but she noted that it was odd because in the manner of which it was parked. So basically, he backed into the spot next to the building. So in Indiana, they only have back license plates, not front license plates. So she thought it was weird that he backed in. If I'm going to be completely honest, don't think that that's weird at all, because I back into parking spots as much as I can. I don't know why. It's just like easier to get out. So if I'm going to park somewhere and it's not one of the slanted spots, I'll back into the spot almost every time. That's just me. They think it's weird, though. There's 2 people that said that was odd to them. A woman who was on the trail that day. Oh, that's the same one. Blue jacket. I'm getting there, guys. Another tip came in from a man who said he was driving by the CPS building that day and spotted a purple PT Cruiser or small SUV type vehicle parked that appeared as though it was backed in as to conceal the license plate. Someone else described the vehicle as perhaps a smart car. A motorist informed detectives that she had seen a man wearing a blue jacket walking along the road back towards the CPS building that appeared to be muddy and bloody on February 13th. And this is according to the initial affidavit.
So some of the other suspects that have been that were on their radar for a period of time, one of them is Ron Logan. So Ron Logan was the owner of the land where the girls were found.
This guy, he was a creep either way, whether he did this or not. Honestly,
he was just a criminal,
a creepy guy.
Yeah. So they were discovered approximately 1,400 feet from his home. Logan was arrested shortly after the killings, but it was completely unrelated. I guess he was a habitual traffic offender. He served time previously. He was not ever considered a suspect in the murders of Abby and Libby, but because it was on his property, people freaked out immediately.
And I could see that.
Yeah.
Kind of like they were found on his land.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it's just a wooded area. You know, it's not like, I don't know.
Another lovely gentleman. I'm going to retract to that gentleman part. His name is Keegan Klein. In March, Keegan Klein was named as a possible suspect in the girls' murders. He was actually arrested for child pornography, just an unbelievable amount of child pornography on his and his father's various electronic devices. And this is the guy that was supposed to meet Abby and Libby that day, but it didn't happen. Now, we don't know why that didn't happen. There quite possibly could be, what a lot of people are saying is that there's some sort of underground network of people, and somehow Richard Allen got the information that they were going to be there. But this is speculation. I don't know. I think it's kind of more than coincidental that he was supposed to. Anyway, so like I said, he was supposed to meet Libby and Abby on the Delphi High Bridge the day before they were murdered on the 13th. Klein actually said his dad could be a prime suspect in the killings. Neither he nor his father were arrested over the Delphi Bridge killings. Police continue to investigate them. And Klein is actually being held in jail because he was arrested on multiple child porn charges in 2020. Another guy named James Chadwell II. He's 43 years old at the time. He was added as a suspect in 2021 after he was arrested and convicted for luring a 9-year-old girl to his home, where he sexually assaulted and strangled her in his basement. And this was 20 miles away from where Abby and Libby were murdered. The girl actually survived, and Chadwell is currently serving a 90-year sentence for the attack. In an interview with DailyMail.com in 2021, Chadwell's brother characterized him as being pure evil and more than capable of the Delphi murders. Authorities have released no connection between Chadwell and the Delphi murders. Another man named Thomas Bruce, he's actually a former pastor and was charged.
I hate that.
Disgusting. He was charged with fatally shooting one woman and sexually assaulting 2 others at a Catholic supply store in St. Louis, Missouri in November of 2018. Bruce was noted for having a similar stature to the man seen in the Delphi video. He also wore similar clothes during his St. Louis crime as the man did in Libby's video. Indiana police looked into Bruce in connection to the Delphi murders. No charges were ever handed down. He's currently serving life in prison for a St. Louis crime. Okay. John Miller, a 63-year-old man arrested in 2018 for the 1988 cold case rape and murder of 8-year-old April Tinsley. Miller lived 2 hours from Delphi at the time of his arrest. In the years before he was arrested, Miller left numerous notes in public places saying the killer of April Tinsley would definitely strike again.
Like he's like taunting people,
yeah,
like a terrorist, like Ava, totally a terrorist. This guy.
I think you can't even compare your dog to this guy. Okay, so he said, "I kill." This is one of the notes that he placed around. It said, "I kill 8-year-old April Marie Tinsley. I will kill again," unquote. And that was in 1990 that he left that note somewhere. No charges were issued against Miller in relation to the Delphi case. And one of the last ones, there were several other ones, but
basically the point is it's not like they just picked Richard Allen out of the blue. They have been working on this case since 2017. There's suspects that we're not even mentioning that they ruled out. We're only mentioning the ones that they have not definitively ruled out.
Yeah. The last one I'm going to mention is Daniel Nations. I remember when this happened. It was everybody thought that this was the guy.
This is the guy.
They finally found him, and it did not turn out to be so. So Daniel Nations is a registered Indiana sex offender. He was arrested in Colorado in September of 2017 after threatening hikers with a hatchet. It was also reported that a cyclist was murdered on the same trail around the same time Nations was threatening hikers. The way he was connected is because of the similarities between the crimes and because he bore a strong resemblance to the preliminary police sketch. And he really, I mean, if you put them side by side, they really look related. They really do.
Yeah.
Police actually cleared him as a suspect.
All right. So real quick, there's a thing that I want to mention that is not a law in Indiana, but it is in many other states, which is in other states, they're allowed to run DNA because there's DNA in this case. They're allowed to run DNA for familial matches. So basically, they can, like when you do one of those little tests to find out your family history or whatever, there's a box you can click. I've done one of these. There's a box that you can click that says, yes, the police are allowed to have my DNA in case they're looking for somebody who's related to me who committed a crime.
Didn't they find out you're like 98% Neanderthal?
Yes, exactly that.
That's what I thought.
Exactly.
I remember that.
Yeah, my test came back that I'm actually my test came back that I'm like 100% really, really white and nothing else. Oh, anyway. So in Indiana, that's not the case. They can't run familial DNA to try to solve a crime. So there's petitions that went around because of this case to get that into to make that into a law. So we're going to move on to inculpatory evidence against Richard Allen. So the autopsy is the biggest. Like this is a big thing. The initial report suggested foul play, and actually, before we get into inculpatory evidence, Life to the Max is here, and it reminded me because she is usually the nagger on another show that we both frequent. To don't forget to do the commercial. So I'm gonna not forget to do the commercial because Life to the Max is here, and just seeing her name reminded me to do the commercial.
And she's going to be with us tomorrow.
Yes, and Life to the Max is going to be with us tomorrow morning, where we're going to live stream the Monon High Bridge Trail IRL live streaming is one of my favorite things to do, and I have all of my equipment here to do that. So, hey, Sharon, I'm glad you're here. I don't usually see you around. Good to see you. So, commercial time. This show is brought to you by me because nobody else will sponsor the show. So, if you would like to, you can go to the bathroom if you need to. It's fine. I turned your camera off. I'll do the commercial.
I figured it was a good time.
It's a good time to go to the bathroom. If you would like to buy a t-shirt or anything like that, you can go to kdz.com. Use discount code Xena10 for 10% off anything in the store. That includes the Ignoramus Media gear that I made recently. That code will work for anything in the store at all. So Xena10 for 10% off. You can get all sorts of great things at that store. We even have Xena merchandise because obviously everybody knows you're here for Xena. So if you want to get a True Crime with Xena featuring Katie Zed wine glass, you could do that. We have pet bowls. If you would like to feed your True Crime pup out of a Xena pet bowl, you could do that. There's hats, there's shirts, all of the things. If there's a thing that you want and you don't see in that store, shoot me an email. Let me know. I'll create the thing just for you, and you can have 10% off of that as well. Also, Christmas is coming up. Don't forget, I have Christmas ornaments that say Overruled, True Crime with Katie Zed, and feel free to pick one of those up. If you make any sort of donation during the live stream, anything at all, if you buy the merchandise, if you do the Buy Me a Coffee thing, if you, which is the Buy Me a Milk Bone link. Oh, I have to turn that off before it'll let me put something else up there. The merch is kdz.com. The donation is Buy Me a Milk Bone. You can always do a super chat or go over to Rumble, who also Rumble has never demonetized me. So definitely check that out. It's also KDZ at Rumble. So it's KDZ everywhere. Please make a donation, make a, buy the merchandise, all of those things. Okay, now back to the show. I was trying to draw it out until number 2 gets back from the bathroom, but that's not happening. So, all right, we'll just get back into it. So the inculpatory evidence, the autopsy, initial reports suggested foul play on the same trail where the bodies were found. So on the Monon, they're basically saying that it didn't happen somewhere else. It happened on the trail. It's not like they were murdered somewhere else and then brought to the trail and like dumped there or anything. Initially, the police believed the deaths to be accidental, but when they obtained the autopsy results, they knew it was a clear case of homicide. And the killer took a souvenir, which is pretty creepy if you ask me. They didn't say exactly what the souvenir was, but further on in the same report, it says something about it says exactly the rest of the girl's clothing was recovered, implying that the killer had taken something that they'd been wearing. The murderer staged the girls' bodies in a particular way after killing them. And their clothes were found in the Deer Creek, the clothes belonging to German and Williams, south of where their bodies were located. The DNA, during an interview with Fox News senior correspondent Laura Ingle in May of 2022, Libby German's grandmother, Becky Patty, said police mentioned finding DNA evidence. When they asked to verify the evidence or the existence of DNA evidence, the Indiana State Police, the Lafayette District, Commander Lieutenant Thomas McGee said he was unable to give public comment about evidence in an open investigation, which makes sense. But I'm sure we're going to find all of this out because the trial's coming up in January. So we'll get all of that evidence. The blood evidence. There was blood evidence. The murderer appeared to have gone to great lengths to keep Abby's body and clothing clean of blood, according to the affidavit, which also notes that Libby's body did have blood on it. And both bodies had tree branches placed on them. And one of the tree branches that was on Abby's body was actually cut, not like broken off, or not like a branch that was there. Although it's not unusual to find a cut branch on somebody's property.
Yeah, I mean, he lived there. He could have been cutting stuff
exactly
a year before. You never know.
Exactly. So there's the ballistic evidence that we mentioned earlier. Also, the documents show that an unspent .40 caliber round from a gun owned by Allen was found 2 feet away from one of the victims' bodies. It was the round was tied to Allen's gun after forensic tests were done in an Indiana state laboratory. The affidavit that was unsealed by the judge last month in September revealed that the .40 caliber round was found actually in between the two girls, and it had been cycled through a pistol that was recovered from Allen's home when they did the search warrant. It was from a Sig Sauer model P2226. Allen purchased the gun in 2001 and told investigators that he had never let anyone else borrow the gun. So, of course, they asked that sort of stuff beforehand. All right, I'm going to play the little news conference, and then we'll go into the exculpatory evidence. The little news conference. So when Allen was arrested, they did do a little news conference. And here we go.
Seldom do I have prepared remarks, but today is different because I do not want there to be any confusion or ambiguity with what I will say.
He's as sniffly as I am.
Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation. First, I'd like to speak directly to Anna, Mike, Becky, Kelsey, your extended families, along with the entire Delphi community that certainly has grown and now includes our nation and even many countries around the world. I am proud to report to you that today, actually last Friday, was the day, and an arrest has been made. Thanks to literally hundreds of media outlets that have been steadfast in reporting and keeping the memories of Abby and Libby front and center. Many of you in the room have developed relationships with me personally, and you know I always have a personal perspective, and today's no different. But from a very personal perspective, you all have provided inspiration and support, even while oftentimes frustrated with us and me. You continue to encourage the efforts, and you too believe that one day we would all be here participating and sharing this news. To the entire law enforcement community, which includes all local, state, and federal agencies, which are far too many to specifically mention today, thank you.
Okay. I have to take those off. Wow, that car is loud outside of your house. Where was I? Okay, so there was a clerical mistake when they basically what had happened was, I'm not even going to go to my notes. I'm just going to tell you guys. It's much better when I do that. So in 2017, when they interviewed people who were on that trail that day, Richard Allen said, "Yeah, I was there," and gave the police his name and whatever. And they went back several times and interviewed all of the people that were on the bridge or on the bridge trail. But for some reason, when his information was entered, the person who entered it put his name in as Richard Allen White because he's a white male. So they put part of his description in as his name. So when they went back to try to find this Richard Allen White, they thought Allen was the middle name. So they never went back and interviewed him until recently. There was new officers, detectives on this case, and they said, look, we're not getting anywhere. We need to like erase, start from the top and go back. So they went back through everything that they had from 2017 until last year when he was arrested. And that's when they circled back to him and discovered that, hey, this guy has been like, we've been looking into this guy since the beginning, but somehow his file got like lost in cracks or whatever. So that's how they got him, basically. All right. Exculpatory evidence.
All right. So Allen has pleaded not guilty to both murder charges. His lawyers, they're trying to get the ballistics excluded from the trial. The trial is scheduled to start on January 8th of 2024. His initial jury trial was scheduled for March of 2022. It was postponed due to voluminous evidence that had not been shared with the defense.
That's such baloney.
Yeah.
They just wanted more time.
Yeah. The state believes it has turned over everything in their possession and has no objection to a discovery deadline. The state said the defense's theory that the state is intentionally withholding evidence because it is exculpatory isn't true. The prosecutor also claims the defense team hasn't turned over any pieces of evidence from their investigation. Allen's defense attorney, Bradley Rossi, acknowledged that his client made incriminating statements, but attributed them to his deteriorating mental condition.
Mm-hmm.
He has made incriminating statements implicating himself in the crime, Rossi admitted, though he cautioned that the alleged admissions were inconsistent. Allen, who is on suicide watch at the Westville Correctional Facility, is under immense stress and is having difficulty communicating with his legal team, Rossi claims. They're also saying that there are several correctional officers who are practicing odiness and are actually wear patches on the sleeves of their clothing, and what they're basically saying is that he was threatened into confessing to his mother and his wife in order to, I guess, take the spotlight off of odinists. So
yeah. Baloney. Like uniforms are uniforms. You can't just put your own patches on there.
Actually, the warden has come out and said that they are allowed to wear different.
Do they have Odinism patches on there?
They actually
shut
do.
The front door.
I am not even kidding you.
Oh
they
my goodness!
Do, which is insane. This is new right now.
I'm literally hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, that really did happen. They really are practicing Odinists that are correctional officers, but to say that he was threatened on the, I don't know.
All right. Well, Baldwin and Co. We'll talk after we're done with this thing.
I probably should have told you about that earlier.
Yeah. After that was written for us, actually. Baldwin. Well, we're just going to talk about it then, and maybe we will take calls because now I want to hear from people. Baldwin and co-counsel Brad Rossi have asked the court to move Allen's trial at least 150 miles out of town. In a motion filed, they argued It is common sense to presume that the residents from the counties further away from Carroll County will not have the same level of investment in the case, therefore, will be able to more fairly decide the matter without concern of how their verdicts may affect the relationships with others in Carroll County. So Alan is due back in court on February 17th, and the trial is scheduled to actually begin the trial in January of next year. Okay. What do you think? Because this Odinist thing is crazy to me.
It is.
Like, let me know in the chat as well. Totally do you think that, like, after you've heard both of the exculpatory evidence, like both the for and against evidence, do you think that Richard Allen actually did this thing? Do you think so?
I still think he did it. I think that they are trying to find any way to get him out of it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So they somehow found out there are practicing Odinists in the area.
So probably from the patches.
And are trying to, you know, find any way to, I mean, that's what lawyers do.
Yeah, what does an Odinist patch look
like?
I gotta look it up on my computer so I can show it. Is it ODIN or ODIN? Odinist patch. So yeah, I didn't know that there was practicing Odinists in the jail.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
And actually, 2 of the correctional officers came forward and said they practice a form of it. It's not. That's not the one.
Oh, it's not the one.
Mm-mm.
Is it this one?
No.
With the triangles?
That's not the one I've been seeing.
It's really weird.
There are so many.
Well, I'm going to show you guys the ones that I found. Maybe.
That's the one that I keep seeing. This one.
This one?
This one, yeah. And then that one. No, well,
all right, let me share this. Let me share the screen.
Yeah.
So what kind of jail allows?
It's insane to me.
And I still what is happening? What is happening?
Yeah, I don't know how you can have a state official have their own authority to put whatever patches they want to put on their uniform. That's insane to me.
It is kind of insane. So she's saying that it's this.
That's
where you go.
That's the one they keep showing on various platforms. Why won't it show you?
This one here.
That one. Mm-hmm.
With the half flag and the triangles.
Yep.
So it's the triangles one.
It's half American flag, and then it's got 3 triangles in the corner. And there's also one that says,
look at all this evil stuff on this website. Just devilish.
In Odin we trust.
Just devilish things on this website.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't join a cult, kids.
No, don't do that.
So I think this. Oh, I forgot to bring up the thing about the F on the tree.
Okay, so there's also saying that okay, and on one of the trees near where the girls were found, there was blood on a tree. They're saying that it was an F was written on the tree in Libby's blood, which it's been confirmed that it was Libby's blood. They're saying it's in the shape of an F, which is one of these cult symbols. And in actuality, all it is, she was probably standing by the tree when she got killed.
Here's the thing: it was 4 feet up the tree, so just about as tall as an 8th grader would be.
Yeah.
And her throat was slit, right? So it looks like blood split. Like they're saying that this looks like an F, and like if you squint really hard, maybe it does. But when the defense team was talking about it, it sounded like it was like painted on the tree as an F. This is not painted on the tree, the letter F. And I don't even know, what did they say the letter F stood for?
I don't know. Nobody could, I never got any concrete answer as to what the F was. It's not an F.
No.
I mean, that's literally
there's grasping. Splatter. They're grasping at straws here. Let me know in the chat if anybody would like to call in. We'll take a call or two. We'll see if it'll work to talk about the Delphi case. If not, did you have anything else to?
I'm impressed that we got this going tonight. We did good. We did good.
We did good.
We didn't think that my internet was going to handle all this.
I didn't think it was at all. I really didn't think it was. Life to the Max says, "What the F?" Exactly. Where's the F?
There's no F.
I don't see the F. Yeah, it's.
Oh, see. Nightman's wife said most departments allow one religious item on their person, like wearing a cross and a chain. See, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that they could
put a patch on their uniform is what got me.
But that's what she's saying. Like they can, but you don't see like Christians wearing, patches or
no, they'll wear, like I have a cross that I wear almost all the time.
Yeah.
But it's small and it's
It's very strange to me.
Is Odinism a religion though?
They're saying it's a Norse religion.
I don't know. It sounds made up.
Hijacked by white supremacists.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm going to play you guys a little video that was made for me.
I love it.
I'm very excited about it. This is going to be the premiere of
Crime Land. Go ahead. Yeah, give me your wallet. Go ahead. Go ahead. Give me your wallet. Things really have gone downhill around here. Many such cases.
First Florida man was heard in Ando de Soto.
You buy the Graham and Bob show. Definitely go check them out. I will put a link in the. Let me pull it up and I'll put a link there here. Is this it? That's not it. I will find it in the description. I should have done that ahead of time, but I'm me, so things happen, right?
We almost named this Many Such Cases.
We really almost didn't name it Many Such Cases. Yeah, did you guys like that? So that segment was brought to you by the Graham and Bob show. Hopefully it will show up better when I'm at my home computer. I guess nobody wants to call in, so that's it. That's the show. What do you guys think? We're going to live stream tomorrow from the Monon High Bridge Trail.
Words are hard.
Words are so hard right now. I'm so tired. I was traveling all day, that sort of stuff. So traveling, not driving, traveling. I was actually flying, right? Yeah, Odin is the father of Thor and Loki, right? Mm-hmm. Is that I didn't research the Odinism because I'm not a cult member, so
yeah.
We're gonna probably around 10:30. I think we're meeting up at around 10. We'll start the stream around 10:30, and we will see you guys there. Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much for the super chats. I appreciate that so much. Xena appreciates it. I'm glad we were able to coordinate to get her live on air. And thank you very much for hosting me tonight.
You're welcome.
This number 2.
Come and hang out with us tomorrow, everybody. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be good to see, for ourselves instead of just watching, footage on TV.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
When you're actually there, you get a better feel for the situation. Like when you're just reading the text or seeing the maps online, you don't really get a feel for it. So it'll be much better to see it actually, there and in person. And hopefully we can bring a little bit of perspective to you guys about that as well. Thank you very much for coming, and we will see you all tomorrow. Joining me tomorrow is Life to the Max and her crew, as well as number 2. And we'll see you there. Yeah, we're going to look for more clues. We're going to solve the case tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.
That was much faster than I expected.
Are we? We're not muted.
Oh. No, we're not.
First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man, Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you solo go show off your photos, throw out your Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8 subscriber, I'm a fagoso. Jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Looking for new thrills, needed a new track of land. I used to dig The Simpsons, man. Bumping Biggie, Pop, Smash Mouth, and Simple Plan. No scrubs for the crease in my pimples, damn. From the south streets of southeast Michigan, hitting shuffle till I settled on a different jam. And when a dime won't do, a better nickel can. And let me tell you, when I used to dig them Simpsons, man. A funny thing about time, you can't get it back. A tight grip, but it rips the jacket. Slight lisp with a mix of traffic. You see about me, like Mr. Glass, always wished I was a whiz at graphics. Take me back to the past where the hits were massive. You can hear Gladys Knight and the Pips on plastic, misfit molasses. Delete my contacts just so I can stick to glasses. Feel that skipped out, so I miss the classics. Aristotle of the bottle, Seneca of the sinful action, senator of the simple maxim. I swear for a skillful Saxon, I'm still relaxing. Who wanna take a dip in the mind sauce, making up for the time lost, forgetting all my past was when I sign off. Prime bribe, prime rib, Agent Smith, crime boss, popping red pills till my mind's off, mind's off.
First Florida man, first Florida man, Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you solo go show off your photos, throw out your Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8 subscriber, I'm a fagoso. Jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Threw up that blue pill, moved to a new track. I slew the foothills of that voodoo sap. Microfiche tape decks, I'll sift through that, cause I'll do anything to get the old Simpsons back. Give me the news that make my mood react. I'll swim through the sewer just to make it to the truth intact. And you can shine up that voodoo with new shellac. I'll still do anything to get the old Simpsons back. Imagine thinking Karl Marx is new school Klingon like Huzu. They welcome the ways they can bring on the boots, dude. Declare a major, they get paid to pollute you. Self-ashamed neighbors never gaze when they scoop you. I wonder how we fight it. The 6th step is never enter in my tent uninvited. The 5th step is produce, no skills is no use. 4th step community preference is unity. 3rd step is nation, it's somewhat location, mostly relations, that's the situation. Next step, family, patriarchal sanity. Safe under the canopy, ain't a place for anarchy. 1st step, I just got to say it, no showboat. Step back and soak up the logos.
First Florida man, Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you solo go show off your photos, throw out them Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8 subscriber, I'm a fagoso. Jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.